Established in 1900, surviving 2 world wars and 1 serial cafe, 3 generations have passed on the ownership.
Time, 1 step breakfast.
Born upstairs, inside these very walls. Real cockneys, a word often used, but not often understood. Humour, charm, and of course, honesty. The food, well, it speaks for itself. Made with love and designed to fill. Join us in Pellicci as we go down the Caff.
Yeah, who's here? Ray?
Well, we know who you are, but in 1 sentence, tell these people who you are and what you do.
I'm Ray, and I'm here to eat a bit of manjari.
Hey! We'll have a look at that.
Thank you. Do you know I've already made up my mind what I want?
You know.
I've been dreaming of that.
Give me that fucking back, then, yeah.
Get out of here. It's very nice. Anyway, I thought about it in the car.
Yeah.
Because I make Marvin. I ain't eating all day.
Yeah.
Right? So I want steak kidney pudding.
Lovely.
His favourite.
Just like a mama does.
Yeah.
And I want mashed potatoes with that.
Yeah.
Bit creamy, nice. I thought about having peas.
Nah.
But do you know, I'm in the mood for baked beans.
Fuzz.
Fuzz.
Yeah.
Fajoli.
Army and Navy.
Lovely.
And I might have a bit of Daddy's sauce.
Brat sauce over the
What is
top.
that, Daddy's? What is
Proper.
Well,
That's
yeah,
the
it's a moody
Daddy's,
daddy,
yeah.
but
It's
it's
a
all
moody
right. It's all right.
daddy.
It's a gentle,
Go
exactly
to me,
what
babe,
it is.
and I'll have a nice cup of tea with that.
Lovely, Ray. Wait, so you're back in the East End. Well, you never left the East End. You've been here your whole life. Where was you born, Ray?
I was born in Hackney Hospital, and I think the wing I was born in there, it actually looks over the new West Ham Stadium. Right?
So that's where you got your love.
No, because it weren't there then, was it?
Oh yeah, of course it weren't. Of course it weren't. Yeah, but you knew it was going to be there.
I was born there, and by all accounts now, that wing that I was born in was a nut house.
That
It is.
You should have
You weren't born in there. I'm going to say the same
But
about
yeah, I
him.
was born there, and I was actually brought up Plaistow in West Ham.
Yeah.
So I was about 2 mile, I guess, from the stadium, from West Ham ground. But my family, my dad comes out of Oxton, my mum comes out of East Ham, and I was kind of brought up there. But I lived with my grandfather for a while as well in Bethnal Green. I was asked to leave the premises by mum and dad for a while.
What did you do?
And I went to live with granddad in Wells Street.
Oh, Wells Street?
Yeah.
What did you do?
My club's around the corner, you know, I used to box at the Reps.
Wrexham Course.
And that's really, with granddad and all that, that's how I got introduced to Pellicci's.
How long did you box for, Ray?
Well, I suppose I started because we moved over. My dad moved over to Edmonton,
Right.
Because he had some fruit shops over there.
I knew he wanted to be a
Yeah.
Spurs supporter, isn't it?
No,
On
no,
the
no.
What are you
Spurs
saying?
supporter.
I'm trying to upset the man for.
So we moved over there, and we kind of I started boxing at the Enterprise Club in Tottenham as a kid. You know, I was only a little kid, and then I went to Enfield Club. And then, as I got older now, I just wanted to be back here because I was back over here all the time. Anyway, I had mates
Watch
over
it
here.
from round this
Yeah,
way.
well, you know.
What is it, Ray? Like the East End, it's a tradition. Like a lot of the kids, like a lot of my mates. I was obviously too pretty to box. He told me, Burnsy, when I went down. He said, "Nev, don't even risk." But a lot of the East Enders were brought up like tough, like, and you had to learn how to box.
Yeah, I don't know if it's any tougher
Was
than
it
anywhere
in
else.
your family? Like, was the family boxers?
I mean, my dad boxed, my grandfather boxed. You know, I guess his grandfather probably.
And you were
boxed.
pretty good. You had like quite a few
I
fights.
was all right. I was a novice fighter.
That weren't what you were saying before. You was telling me you was world champion
yeah,
material.
yeah.
You were saying before the camera was rolling, Ray.
He don't leave off.
He don't stop.
He don't leave off.
Even when you're eating.
No, he's murder when you're eating. He don't
Oh
even
yeah,
know.
only because it's Ray.
We're
I like
talking
to
about
talk.
eating, you're supposed to ask for about eating, didn't you? So you
Yeah.
said bacon roll here, so like, what do you like when you're at home, Ray? You like mangy, didn't you? Always
Yeah,
say
but you know,
mangy.
I love a rib of beef or something
Oh,
like that.
nice.
You know,
That
but
was my dad's.
because
Yeah.
I've been going to Italy quite a bit, I've got right into the pasta.
Yeah.
You know, and the other night I made a ragu the other night. It was blinding. It was all right, you know, because I learned out there. They
Right,
teach
you
how to
didn't
do
put a
broccoli.
dolmio in it.
I didn't
No,
just say
you made
that.
it proper.
No, proper.
No, I couldn't believe it. No, because I know your
Well, from
best
young
friend,
into-
Joe.
because
You've got a
some
bit of
people-
help
Some
here.
people put in the it's celery and all that in it. No, carrots.
Would you put it?
Yeah, celery, carrots, onion.
No, I don't.
Would you do?
Minced beef and an ox
I'm
onion.
not trying.
You've got to have the garlic.
Yeah.
Definitely have the garlic, but you have the onion.
I think we've
Plenty of onion.
We've got to send Giuseppe
Yeah,
back.
we've got to send.
And
Where's
the
your
mince
mate,
has got to
Joe?
have a
We've
bit
got
of
to get
fat
your
in
mate.
it. Got to have a bit of fat in
Yeah.
it.
Got a bit of fat in the meat, yeah.
Because that's the flavour, you
Yeah,
know?
we've got to have a bit of. Mum has made you a special little treat after to take home, yeah. It's done your little tray of
cannelloni to take home, yeah.
You're going to love them. They are the business.
But on our menu, you always like a steak and kidney pudding, didn't you?
I love a steak.
It's like, it's that typical
And it's funny
East
though,
End
coming in,
cockney.
you're Italian, but you cook a blinding steak and kidney pudding. It's like me going to Italy and cooking a nice Italian, you know?
But we are cockney-itis,
We're
isn't we?
cockney-itis, exactly like me.
Yeah.
That's what Spike Milligan called Uncle Terry, wasn't it? A cockney-itis.
Cockney-itis. Yeah, and he called him a He was in the war with him, and he called him a Cockney-itis.
Okay.
And he used to phone up. Dad said Spike Milligan would phone up every Christmas day.
Yeah.
And he'd do a joke, and he'd put the phone down or something like that. He'd ask for Terry, and then he'd put the phone down. He was like mad when
No,
he
he was,
Spike Milligan.
yeah. All accounts, when the old Bill used to go down there when there had been a bit of disturbance at Spike's house. But that's what I heard, you know, you get rumours about it. But he used to have an hatch above his front door.
Yeah.
And he used to, when the old Bill was standing there knocking on his door to take him away, he'd lower down on a rope, like a bottle of scotch, and say, sorry. Right away, yeah.
Ray, you've been all over the world for food. Where's your number one destination?
Pellicci.
But like, would you say Italy? You've really come, or would you still like people slag the English food, didn't they? When you go,
They used to,
but it's like it's probably some of the best. It's probably some of the best food in the world.
I must say, years ago, that's probably the case. You know,
Yeah,
there
it
wasn't
was.
much choice. You know, what is an English dinner? You know, it's steak and kidney pudding.
Yeah.
You know, it's ribber beef. That's English. That's really English. Fish and chips.
And it's done good now.
But
when it's
now,
done well, it's
I
fantastic,
think a lot
isn't
of
it?
it's to do with, you know, the Italians, the Greeks, the Chinese, the Japanese. They all bring that food culture here, and you know, it's enhanced what we have.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so there's much more choice now in England for food. You know, I mean, an English dish now is a curry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that is the most. I think that's the most loved dish there is.
Yeah, that's right.
Is having a ruby, and I love it.
Yeah, of course.
so
I
do
love
I.
a ruby.
Yeah.
And what would
Yeah,
you...
in Italy, you give them a ruby.
No.
And they go, I've cooked a ruby out there from them. I've got to say, the one thing, going through France, it's very flat France, and you really kind of rush until you get to the south of France, around Bourg-en-Bresse or something, or where the Mont Blanc is, around that kind of area, right?
But we used to go to... We couldn't afford to go over the Mont Blanc. We used to go...
But you pull up a petrol station, the food's diabolical.
Yeah.
Until you get through the tunnel
To Italy.
And as soon as you get out the other side and you're in Italy, go into the petrol station.
It's
Ain't like it
fantastic.
is here.
No, you're right. I've done that.
We had the best. I had one of the best burgers I've ever had in a petrol station. It was called a More or something.
Yeah.
The little restaurant in there. Fantastic. But everything, your cakes, your rolls, anything you want is on a different level. No, I think what I fell in love with Italy was probably where I have a place, the little town there, and then this goes for many towns throughout Italy. Yeah. It just reminded me of the East End 40 years ago.
Well, everyone looking
and I
out
don't
for
mean
each
it
other.
being backward or anything like that. That is exactly
Everyone,
the thing.
if you need anything.
The streets are still there with aunties and uncles.
Yeah.
And I know where I live, I know a lot of the aunties and uncles good for the boys I know here.
Yeah.
You know, live out near me and, you know, from the East End.
Yeah, of course.
Their mums and their dads and their grandfathers, my mate Joey's family lived there, you know. So, and just that thing, you go out at night and, you know, there's this weird thing we don't do is 2 o'clock in the morning to 5, shop shut.
Yeah.
So they're open later at night, but people eat later at night, which I can't get used to. I can't eat at 10 o'clock at night. I have to eat at 6 o'clock at night, you know, but, or 7 at the latest. But, you know, you go out and your kids, your grandkids are running about, and even my youngest girl, Ellie, was quite young when we first went there. They're free to roam the streets.
Yeah.
There ain't that kind of thing of you got to lock your kids away, you know.
Yeah.
They're there and everyone knows you and they're looking after the kids. It's how the East End used to be. You know, when I first went there, a lot of the younger generation were moving away, they're moving back to the cities. Well, there's a lot of land left there. People are not doing anything with, but they go to the big cities, whether it's Milan, whether it's London or anywhere else in the world. But now I've noticed a lot of these kids who have gone away to universities and educated themselves are now coming back and they're applying
it's happening where we
to
are.
where they were, you know, which
They're
is
all
fantastic.
going, learning the old skills and the old, it's all going back to it.
One of my best friends out there, his wife's a doctor, but he's can do what he wants, and he starts growing all the vegetables, and he actually sells it. He's doing all the, what do they call it? Agriturismo. Prodotti
Artigiani,
like the artisan, but he's all like, but he enjoys it. He said he gets the chestnuts and he smokes them in this. Like he's got all the old stuff what his grandparents used to use.
Yeah,
it's all coming back.
Talking about it, do you think the East End helped shape you how you are now, like make you the man you are now?
I guess so, but you know, if I come from Liverpool, I come from Coventry or Glasgow,
just
them places shape you into the man you are. You know, and I guess, you know, I'm very proud of coming from the East End.
We're proud of you.
I think it's very important, wherever you come from, is not to forget where you come from, you know, because that's what started you. That's what gave you what you got to go out into the world to do what you do.
Give you the fire in your belly.
Would you swap the East End for Hollywood?
No, I could have lived in Hollywood at any time.
That's what would you? No. But you wouldn't.
No, it's living above the shop. Yeah. For me, and you know, it's a different world. That's a fantasy world, Hollywood, where you go and you have all these great dreams. If you're successful in Hollywood, then they love you. If you're not, you're in trouble. Yeah. And it's a place where you don't really know who your friends are. Yeah. You know, and it's not being cruel, it's just a fact. Well, you've been in here, you've got people from all walks of life in here.
And I do.
And then that's the wonderful thing about I used to go in a bar in Knightsbridge, it was very similar. It was upmarket.
To the Caff?
No, I've got to tell you, in the clientele way.
Oh, yeah.
Because you'd have someone who was a racing car driver, you'd have an MP, you'd have a kid who worked at the counter in like Harrods, and you'd have a kid who just works on the street. You know, and that you get that vibe when you come in here. You get fighters, you get sports people, you get people who are just ducking and diving around, and you get very intelligent, you know, film people or politicians.
Your mate comes in here,
Johnny Dodds. Michael.
Yeah, Michael. I love it. Like me and Michael fall out all the time.
Oh, you would do. Yeah.
He does because I like to name drop, and he wants to. He starts a story like this. I was in a bar
with
in New York with Frank Sinatra, and then Omar Sharif walked in. I'm like, fuck off, Michael. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's true, but he's true. Yeah.
He is, and I'm going to say he is the best second assistant in the film world.
Yeah, and he
was one of the ones who taught me early doors. When I was an extra working on the set, I worked with Michael a couple of times, and I got some coatings of him. But he taught me a lot about how to perform and how to conduct yourself on the set.
Isn't he
you can tell a kid he's taught. He was in the same game as him. Yeah. But as soon as you walk on the set, you see something about the demeanour of them, you know. And you know, that's a great thing. It's a wonderful thing.
We're talking about Michael because Michael always tells us that his dad knew the twins, didn't he, and stuff like that. And did you have any connection to the twins? I mean, they used to sit here, Ronnie, and Reggie every morning.
Yeah, we'd on Ronnie. No, I was about 6 months old, Nev.
Oh, sorry.
So he picked me up, and he had a new Mac on, and I pissed on it, and everyone went quiet. But he was right, he started laughing, so everyone started laughing, I suppose,
How would your family
know my dad.
Like everyone's
my dad boxed at the Lansdowne Club, which was in Mare Street.
So he was a
kid. But they knew them all through boxing and being boys on the street.
Yeah. That world's a bit of a small world, the boxing world. I know when you go like everyone.
I mean, it's down the road as well.
Yeah, of course.
You had your own little manners, but everyone kind of knew one another, you know. And they had their own little firms and all that kind of stuff. Not necessarily like being gangsters and all that. We're just little groups of boys.
Little cliques.
Cool. Yeah. And they're usually them people, if you ain't in that world, they're usually the nicest people with normal people.
Yeah.
They'll be very nice and...
Well, they're not interested in what they get.
Exactly. Yeah. They're only like that with their own sort of kind of people. So they were probably good as gold with your family in that way.
I think so,
yeah. I think like with us sort of thing, always nice,
yeah. And no problems with them.
Ray, I've got... We're going to get some nice food going in a minute for Ray, ain't we?
I told you
what I fancy.
Yeah, well, but
who's made it today? Did Mum make it?
Mum was in this morning, and like he said, he's made you a lovely cannelloni to take home.
But before are we going to get some food now? Right, before we go, Ray, because we know you're the man, and we can't leave you alone. Right, Rosa, you're going to have to come over here.
Can Rosa sing
Rosa, non sorride. So this is your protection. We're going to leave her here just in case anyone...
Right, that's it. A nice song?
Go on, sing.
Yeah. What are you going to do? She ain't going to liven me up.
She'd be surprised.
Okay,
You'd be surprised.
Well, I'm steady. Right, I'll sit here like that.
Should we go and get Ray a bit of munch?
Let's go and get a bit of mangy.
Mangy.
Bit of mangy
Let's
mangy.
get a bit of
Come on.
mangy.
Red roses too. I see them blue for me and for you. And I think to myself,
For yours? You like mashed beans?
what a wonderful
Anna, Ray's food's ready.
Lovely.
Fucking time.
Here you go, Ray. Double pudding, mash and fagioli.
Oh, thank Mum.
By your mate, well, she thought you was Ray the Baker last week, didn't she? Yeah. She had the old, didn't
Do
she?
you mind if we sit down with you, Ray?
What?
Do you mind if we sit down with you?
Sit down and watch you eat.
If you must, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got two.
Double
Lovely.
pudding.
Here, look.
They used to
Joe's
call
gonna
them
be-
baby's heads, didn't they?
Yeah, two babies' heads.
Yeah?
Yeah, two babies.
Creamy mash
And we
and
always
fuzz.
call beans fuzz, because
Why do you call them fuzz?
fagioli.
You know,
So my
fagioli.
dad would
Ah,
say 2 eggs, chips and fuzz.
Should I tell you why? Because when Dad used to shout the orders into the kitchen,
Yeah.
say pie, mash and peas, pie, mash and beans, in the
Yeah.
kitchen they sound the same. So if you say
Yeah.
fuzz instead of beans,
Yeah.
you know what they're
peas is
talking
peas.
about.
Can you imagine
Peas
that
is
if you
peas.
got the wrong order? I mean,
Oh,
I have done it here before.
Yeah.
Got the
And
wrong
when
order.
Anna takes
But
it.
yeah, that's usually when Anna's doing it. And then she brings it back. You don't moan about it because you'd
No,
rather
no,
have
no.
the rat. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh.
What, is this sort of thing you'd eat at home, Ray? Or
Yeah,
would you- yeah. Who does the cooking? The missus?
No, I cook a lot, but she's a really good cook anyway. But my mate's wife, funny enough, Tony and Bella,
Right.
who was in Luton, right? She makes these.
Yeah.
She makes steak and kidney pie, and she makes pudding, and she makes them lovely. So she usually does me a couple, and I'll put them in the freezer.
In the freezer.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
but
they
my
stay
own mate
lovely.
and my boo-boo, he makes them and all, so.
Proper.
But I'm not very good at making suet.
No, my mum's good. I can't make
Yeah,
suet.
it's a little bit of an art, isn't
It
it?
is a bit of an art, yeah. It's a bit of an old-fashioned thing now.
Yeah, my
that
mum
would have
used
been
to
an
make
old
it,
East
that
End,
was it, yeah.
an old East thing. So, whereas some of the youngsters now, they don't know what it is.
Well,
No,
you're
they don't know what
still
anything
making
is.
it. You're still making spotty dick and things like that.
Yeah, of course we
Yeah.
are, yeah.
Yeah, which
Well,
Well, we
Mum
ain't. Mum's still making
83
it.
Yeah,
she is,
well-
and she was still doing it every
She
morning.
makes a blind
It's
mistake
really
pie.
funny though, isn't it? To see an Italian woman of her age
Yeah.
coming here and making an English dish
Yeah.
like that.
But
It's
she
quite incredible,
she
you
would
know?
have been taught Ray by like, because when she started work, she was only a young girl,
21
mum,
when she
21.
came over.
And she would have
Well,
been.
she was 21 when she
21
came
She'd
when
come
she
over from it,
came
couldn't
back.
speak a word of English, and she'd
Yeah.
be working in the kitchen with my nan, but there'd be a couple of old English girls in there who taught her how to
Yeah.
make the bread pudding.
Ah,
And that's
gotcha.
how she learnt how to make all these steak pies, and
Yeah.
because she would never have seen nothing
Yeah.
like that in Italy.
Because a lot of the Italian mamas I know live here, live in England, live out my way now, you know, around Hoddesdon and all that kind of stuff. They've never learnt the English way of doing it. So when you have an Italian, you have an Italian dish,
Yeah.
you know, and because I don't know how to cook
No,
the
but
English
like Nev
stuff.
said, we used to have a few old typical East End girls
Yeah, who
out
would've
there, and
worked
they
in the
taught my
kitchen.
mum.
Yeah.
And she makes the bread pudding, mum, didn't
Oh,
she?
mum's bread pudding.
And she's, I can't
I've
Actually,
had it.
yeah,
Yeah.
you ain't
I'm
getting
taking it home
today's.
from here.
Yeah.
It's all gone today. Otherwise, I would have given. We didn't say
How
Ray
did
no
you not
bread
say-
pudding. I told you to save his
I
fucking
told
bread
him,
pudding.
Ray, I told him. He said, nah, Ray
Sir-
needs to lose a
sir,
little bit. And he said that, Ray.
Oh, that's nice.
They
Didn't
don't
ya?
know you-
I thought I was
you-
doing pretty well.
You meant to have a grass in the family.
Yeah, Bertie, innit?
Bertie Smalls.
No.
It's
Do you
not
ever
Bertie.
say that and people don't know what you're talking about,
Yeah,
Ray?
all the time.
Because Bertie Smalls was one of the biggest grasses.
Yeah, supergrass.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
supergrass. But you
It was
say
the
that-
first supergrass.
But some people, like, you get all these little, like the posh boys, like Georgia,
Yeah.
they wouldn't know what you're talking
Do you know
about
how,
when
do
you
you know
say
how it
Bertie
became a
Smalls.
grass? It's really funny, and it's funny. I met a couple who was on knitting, who nicked him, right? And he was a terrible alcoholic, but he was a prolific on the pavement. He was a proper bank robber,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And when they nicked him, because he was an alcoholic, they just starved him with alcohol in the nick.
And that is,
Oh,
And that's what done it.
torture.
That's what,
Well, that is
and
a-
then he just got him out and that so he could have a drink.
right, Ray, you've been with your missus for a long time, haven't
You won't bring. Have you seen how pretty she
you?
is?
Yeah.
You've seen how pretty she is. That's why you won't
Yeah,
bring his
she
wife
is
in.
beautiful. He won't bring her in when me and Tony are in here.
Well,
Nev,
say
he's
you,
gone
I
all
say you
Sicilian
don't know,
on
mate.
you.
Sorry, Ray.
He's gone
Sorry,
all
Ray.
Sicilian on you now, Nev.
Been together a long time, Ray?
Yeah, we've been married this year 44 years.
Oh,
so it's
that's
45.
lovely.
Maybe it's 45, I can't remember.
That don't happen enough.
But you got a house full of women, didn't you? Well, you got little Raymond.
No, I got a Raymond now, yeah,
But-
but I've got the girls.
You got
Yeah.
any tips for me, Ray? I've got 2 girls. They drive. They,
No, you got no chance.
You got no
There's
chance.
nothing I'll tell you. You've got no chance.
They drive, and the little
one
one.
thing
She,
is, and they fight one another
Yeah.
all the time and
Yeah.
beat me. But they get to a certain age and then it all stops.
Yeah.
And they have
look
their
after
moments,
you.
they have their
Yeah.
moments, you know, and all that. But now it's good. We're kind of all, it's kind of happy families. And it's almost like the calm before the storm, you know.
Yeah, there's a little storm every now and
Wait,
then.
yeah, it's going to come up. But that's
You have
families,
to-
isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
that's
what
proper.
it's
That, it's all about family. That's what my mum always says. No, don't matter anything. Your family.
Your health and your family,
Families,
that's it.
health and family. That's
Everything else is a bonus.
Yep.
Hey, see when you're out in Hollywood and that, do
Yeah.
they know what you're on? When do you ever use your cockney? You can't take it out. Like you can't just stop being
Just
a
the way I
cockney.
talk, nice. Well,
As,
the way
but I
it
mean,
is.
like you use your cockney rhyming slang and you say things
yeah,
like.
but the Americans do like that. They like all that. I remember I went on a radio show with Steve Jones, you know, the Pistols, and we've done the whole show in rhyming slang, just for a laugh.
What did they make
They
it?
loved it. Couldn't understand the word we were talking about,
Yeah.
but I loved every minute of it.
I'll do it here with the Americans. Say, do you want a bit of army on your thing? And they're like, army? Do I want some army? I'm like,
so
army? Because they think we're all
They
like
love
Dick.
it.
They think we're like Dick Van Dyke and hello,
Yeah.
Mary Poppins.
No, he had to apologise for that,
Right,
didn't he? For the
and
worst
all.
Cockney accent
Yeah, ever. Apart from Joe's.
Did he?
Yeah, apparently it was like a bit of
Joe's
a
Cockney
joke.
accent.
But the other year, apparently, he apologised for having the worst Cockney accent ever in a film. or
Oh,
something
Dick
like
Van
that.
Dyke
Yeah.
is all about. Oh,
Oh,
bless
yeah,
his
I thought you meant Ray.
Yeah, go on, me, Mary Poppins.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
And I was working in the States when they had it in the theatre, you know, they had done a stage version of it, right? And I bought the Circle, loads of seats for all the family, because I love Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
They don't particularly like it, but I do. Right, and I couldn't go. So I've got a block booking up there. So I got all the kids. I went, right, you're going to see Mary Poppins. Oh, all right, Dad, all right. No, you've got to go. But I'm working in New York. I can't come. So I had them on the phone to me in this theatre.
Yeah.
Like with the thing when Mary Poppins, when it starts, Mary Poppins flies over,
Flies over.
just so I could hear Mary Poppins.
Oh, really?
And they sing the first bit, yeah. And they went, well, you heard it, Daddy? I went, yeah, all right, okay then, leave it now, go on.
It brings back nice memories
Yeah,
for you, Ray.
yeah.
Yeah, things that's what films can do to you. Well, you see Ray and said you read that
Oh,
about
no,
him,
who
didn't
was it?
you?
It was The Guardian that said...
You don't
he-
read The
yes,
Guardian.
No, yeah,
You
no,
don't
I
read
don't
The
read
Guardian.
That. No, shit, of course I don't.
We're
But
begging
The
for it, aren't we?
Guardian said that Ray was the East End's George Clooney, and I thought, of all the fucking ugly bastards they could have compared you to...
Ray, I'm going to take this away. You ain't done bad there.
The
Let's
business.
hear
You was
Ray.
looking hungry. I know you've been
Thank
you've been
you.
down the Ripton,
Thank
so
you,
I
Anna.
thought we'd
Thank
load
you.
you up a
Yeah,
little bit
kiss-
today.
give
Thanks,
my
mate.
kiss to the rest.
Ray, can we talk about like your film, like how you started? Because you went into from being an East End boy, you went to drama school, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I lasted about a year.
Did you get stick for that? From your mates and that?
No,
Was it because it
no,
wasn't a
no,
dumb thing? It
No
wasn't a
one
dumb
really
thing.
knew because I was going out, it was over Hammersmith.
Right.
So I was travelling to Hammersmith and I lasted a year, I got expelled. And this, I've told the story before, it would drive people mad, but the day I got expelled, I went with all my mates to the BBC.
Right.
Just say goodbye and have a drink with them and, you know, and go back to where I came from, you know. And I ended up going in and meeting the director for the show they were up for. I was the last one to go in. And he gave me the job on the way I walked down the corridor after. They were scum. So that's how your luck goes. From 1 minute being expelled and kicked out of a college, you know, silly thing I'd done. Anyway, that's another thing. But to getting the job in a film, and then the film being banned.
They weren't
'cause it
shown on
was-
the BBC.
Yeah,
was
they
there,
played
right?
for the day it was, and
Yeah.
then we remade it 2 years later. And the only reason I'd done it is they came back and said, would you like to do the film? And I won't really do it. I was just stuck in the dive with a few pals and that. And I went, yeah, go on, I can't make a film again. And they were doing another film, which in Devon. So I went and done that first. It's called That Summer. And I met my wife. She was on holiday with her family. And then I came back and done Scum. But Quadrophenia before I'd done Scum. So out of doing nothing and
You've
getting
gone
expelled,
full.
from being expelled, and God, that's, there's always hope. There's
Yeah.
always something.
Because your life could have been different.
Yeah, it could have been
Ray.
different.
Could have been completely
And I ended up doing like 4 films and meeting my wife.
Yeah, because it would have been easy for you to go into another route.
Yeah,
From the, like you knew the
yeah.
people where you
Without
could
a
have
phone
gone.
call and you don't answer the phone, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Or even without, if I didn't get expelled, I wouldn't have actually gone to the BBC that day and got the job.
So it's just
Yeah.
fate.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And
nothing to do with talent or anything like that, because I knew nothing.
Yeah.
Right, but them films like big part of my school life. Great, like Quadrophenia, Scum.
Yeah.
Like
he loved Scum, and my husband. I watched Scum like that.
Well, like we'd go to school,
much
and
blood for
we'd
me.
be you. Do you know what I mean? We
Yeah.
wouldn't be hitting people over the head with snooker balls.
not,
but some of the kids in my school were close enough when they were out with. But but that was like you'd be doing the lines, and it was like like an East End film. We thought it was us. Do you know what I mean?
It was a
we thought
film of the time, you know. I mean, when they were not making films really like that. Social. I like them sort of films when it's about social events and people and the way we're affected as working class people, you know. Because you make a film like Nil by Mouth and you go, I don't actually come from there. I don't. That's not my family background. That's something else down there. You know, when you're surrounded by junkies and you're surrounded by, I don't know, a way of life that is kind of undercurrent, you know, that I don't know about. You know, my family were all grafters, like your family. We were grafters. And we had a good upbringing, we had a good life.
Yeah, like we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, when people say, oh, well, you know that, I don't fucking know that. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it around me.
Yeah, same as us.
But I ain't lived that.
Thank God
Yeah,
we're
well,
not
you've got
involved.
friends. You would have known,
thank
God.
like
Thank
us,
God.
you would have had friends that maybe their families were a bit.
Yeah.
But you worked with Kathy Burke on that.
Yeah, Caff, yeah.
She's
What's she like?
blinding.
I love Caff.
That's it.
Anna loves Kathy Burke.
She's absolutely stunning. I mean, working with her was a joy, especially on Nil by Mouth, you know, because, you know, it's violence towards your wife, someone you're supposed to love. And, you know, it's funny how, because it's Kathy, I felt all right about it, you know, and because she was Guy Ritchie, and I think she was felt pretty safe with me anyway when we was working. That's something you'd have to ask God, please God, you do one day, you know.
But you're saying Kathy Burke, who's like for you, Ray, who's you're Ray Winstone, but for Ray Winstone, were you starstruck by anyone?
No, I like, I've been lucky enough to work with Tom Courtney, who I love to death. I think he's blinding, you know, and David Hemmings, you know, who else did I work on that film? Bob Hoskins, you know.
What was Bob Hoskins like?
I love Bob, a miserable
Yeah.
fucker.
Was he?
Yeah, he might have been my dad, you know. Nothing you ever done was any good, you know, but you loved him, you know.
Was he an EastEnder, Bob?
No, I think he came out of Luton.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I mean, he's perceived as
an
being London.
extension.
You know, it's an extension of London. I think his family probably came from this manor.
Yeah.
And moved out. You know, it's like a lot of families did. You know,
Yeah,
moved
cool.
out to Harlow and places like that. He was tremendous. Michael Caine, I've been lucky enough to work with a few times. You know, these are icons who open the doors for us.
Yeah.
To actually be able to become an actor.
What about Scorsese?
Yeah, mine's like he's good. He couldn't understand a word I was saying.
Couldn't he?
No, I don't think so, you know, and when we were working, and he couldn't quite make me out, you know, my humour anyway.
Yeah.
You know, because he said something funny to me as I finished, and I said something funny to him, and it didn't ring well with him. But, you know, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Did you have a bit of beef with Jack Nicholson?
Yeah, not for me. Not
your cup of tea. No, he looks a little bit.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Listen, you got to forgive some people sometimes because they're old, they're getting on.
Right.
You know, but you can see something in him that wasn't really for me.
Have
That's
you ever
just
been?
me. You know, other people love him. You know, I think he's a fabulous actor. I think he's a
Yeah.
fabulous, intelligent man. But it just wasn't for me.
Your cup of tea.
No.
Was you ever been tempted to
What?
liven someone up?
Yeah,
Ray?
Larrabin, yeah.
Oh, have you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think if he'd been younger, yeah.
Yeah, would you?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's it,
All
mate.
the parts you've played, Rach, you've played loads of
Yeah.
parts. For you, like at the minute, what's, I don't know, the one you're most proud of?
Yeah.
or the one you-
I really love doing a film I did in New Zealand called Tracker, which is a film not many people have seen.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah,
Track-
that's my
oh,
favourite. I'm
oh,
glad you
yeah.
mentioned that one.
Yeah, I love
the
Tracker.
people I've
Yeah.
worked with. You know, I was working with mates making a film.
And New
You know,
Zealand's beautiful, isn't it, right? Like, beautiful country.
If there is a country, it's God's own country. Trouble is, it's the other side of the world, and you feel a little bit claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing around you.
Yeah.
Only
You're
Australia,
in the middle of-
Nubia,
Yeah,
which
so-
is also a gaff and a half. I loved it there. But another film after Track was Proposition that I'd done in in Australia.
Oh, I love
We're
you
really
loved that
good.
one as well, didn't
We're
you?
really good people, you know, nice people. It's sometimes not the greatest film sometimes you make, although
But
was.
it means a lot to you.
Yeah, because of the people you're with and the time you're having and the experience of it all is kind of rings in there. I made films that are probably that you class like Sexy Beasts is a great film. I enjoyed making that. You
Nev
know?
watches that all the time,
Yeah, it's
Ray.
good
Do you know why
Hey,
watches it?
You
He
like
loves
getting,
trucks,
you
doesn't
like
he?
getting,
all these
you like getting
proper
naked
Italian.
a lot, Ray. And look, your
I
film,
love it.
like
Nev loves-
Beowulf.
Nev loves
Is that
you
your
getting
body?
naked.
Is that your body in Beowulf?
I had to train for Beowulf. I've got to tell
my
you,
little girl-
I had loads of gin and tonics and vodka and coke.
So if we get you all £400 pub,
But what you said, Mr.
Ray, you've been on loads of sets, loads of films, met loads of different actors.
Yeah.
Is there, in your opinion, one performance from someone else that for you has just stood out that
I guess it's so different from what he'd done before. Was actually Ben Kingsley. So Ben Kingsley, he played Gandhi. You know, this very well-mannered man. And,
Yeah.
you know, very
Great
gentle
film.
and soft and intelligent. Great film. And then he comes and plays Don in Sexy Beasts. You
Yeah.
know, and you go, I kept thinking, so how's this fucking geezer going to terrify me? You know, Ben Kingsley. Okay, you're lovely. And it was an absolute pleasure to work with him. I enjoyed working with him. And as I say, I worked with some really great actors who have been as good, you know. It was very brave because me and him had a very different timing from the way we talked to him. You know, it's very easy to get caught up in the same pattern of speech, you know. Do it. You know, and I'll always look to myself as the reality of this thing, so I just talk normal and let him do his thing, and he was bang on. He never got thrown, and he never threw me. He was there to help me, you know, and he taught me a lot, and I have to say, yeah.
Ray, what you got? Have you got stuff lined up for the future? What we can watch? What are you doing at the minute?
Yeah, I've just done a couple of films for Netflix. Well, one's a series, one's a film. First one, The Gentleman.
Right, that's the series.
It's Guy Ritchie.
Oh.
About posh gangsters a bit, you know, and how our kind of world meets that kind of world.
Right.
white collar gangsters?
That
Well,
mixed.
kind of, yeah, I guess in a way, but how different it is today to what we knew it, you know, and where the intelligence comes from.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these family estates, and they're big, they've got no way of getting an income to keep them running. So someone's come up with the idea of what we could use them estates to grow a bit of weed and all that.
okay.
So
Yeah.
and that's kind of the undertones and the criminality.
Does posh weed
which,
taste different to East End weed?
No, it's all nice.
They used to get all the best stuff.
Yeah.
But we met when
Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie, when he was doing Rock and Roller.
Oh,
He used
yeah.
to come
They
in
were
every day.
filming over the
And
road.
funny, they used to come in, all the boys.
Yeah.
And we had Jeff Bell in here,
Yeah.
who plays a great gangster,
We
great
knew him,
villain,
didn't
Jeff
we,
Bell.
then?
didn't we? Then you had Tom Hardy
Yeah.
and Idris Elba. But we didn't
didn't
really
have a clue
know
they
who
were.
Tom Hardy and Idris. But Jeff
have a
Bell,
clue
I'd
Tom-
seen
Tom's
him.
up there, wasn't he?
Now he is, yeah, but then we didn't know who he was.
Jeff, I'd seen him in like all the football hooligan films, and that
Yeah,
we were like
right, yeah.
Jeff, like talking to him,
Yeah.
and whereas the other two was like, yeah, we don't care about you two, mate, or whatever. But they were like, they cracked it. They went on,
Yeah.
and Idris is.
Yeah, I mean, I've
Idris
worked with
comes
Idris
back.
years
He's a
ago.
lovely fella.
Yeah, he
Idris.
lives in Hackney, doesn't he?
He lives in Hackney. Yeah, he's a Hackney boy. He's a nice
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
And Tom as well, gentleman. When he done that
Yeah.
film,
Yeah,
he's
nice,
a
yeah.
real gentleman.
Good.
Anna.
Oh, look at
we
them
did
beans. I
turn
should have
it
had
in.
What was
beans.
he like, Guy Ritchie? Because then he was a gentleman. He'd come in every day to have 2 poached eggs on toast and tomatoes.
Yeah,
Every
right.
day, that was
And
his
take
thing.
bread pudding home from
and take
Madonna.
bread pudding home from
Oh,
That's
was
when
he?
he was with
Yeah.
Madonna. But what was he? He was a nice fella to work
Yeah,
for.
when I first met Guy, we didn't really get on.
Oh, really?
No, I was going to do Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, and we had a kind of little fallout, and then 1 or 2 things happened, and then we didn't really talk. You know, I didn't really like him. He didn't really like me, and that was all right. It's fine, you know. And but you grow up, you get older, and then we come together, and you know, I actually really enjoyed working with him, and I liked him, you know, and. Yeah, all them kind of years, they're not wasted because you've been off doing what you're doing, and he's been doing what he's doing very successfully and very well, you know. So it was kind of nice to bury something under the bridge, get rid of it, you know, because I'd rather than sitting there like, no.
Yeah, you don't hold
They
the grudge.
can't,
man.
no.
No.
It's good. You
And
can't.
it was
in
like
this business.
two men had grown up, you know,
Yeah.
and that was all right. That was good. I quite like that. But and also the other one I'm doing is a film for Netflix called Damsel.
Yeah.
With Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh,
Little Mills.
yeah,
She's
little
all
Millie.
right,
She's
good
lovely.
kid, yeah,
she's
nice
lovely.
kid.
And Millie's like the main role in it. Is she?
Millie carries the film. Millie is.
She seems lovely. I've seen her in
she's a good
Stranger
girl.
Things.
Very
like,
good and all. Very good.
and she's British, isn't she?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
From
good.
like, where is she from?
Originally, I don't know, but I know she lives
Nice
there.
kid.
Was she the girl from Stranger
Some
Things?
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
She's the main one in it. She's
Okay.
number 11 or whatever.
Well, I've got
isn't she?
Angela Bassett playing my wife.
Oh, blinding.
It's an Oscar.
Well,
winner,
you must have had
fantastic.
some beautiful
No,
wives in
no,
you. You
I've
must have had
some
some. You've had some songs.
some
In
absolute
Beowulf, you had Angelina Jolie, didn't you?
I didn't have
What's
her.
she like?
I didn't have her.
Was that not?
What's she
Oh,
like?
terrific kid, yeah.
Yeah.
Great actress.
Oh no, I'm not that. I think it's terrible you having all these different women. Right?
Why?
I don't know.
It's like my wife laughs. She goes.
I was going to say that
When I was working with Angelina and I came home, I didn't mention that this day, I've been working with Angelina, but she, what I said, she's good at geography, she knows everywhere you've fucking been. So I get home and she goes, how was your day? I went, yeah, it was all right. Yeah, it was all right. Good. What have you been up to? She never asked me.
Yeah.
Never asked me the other time.
So you
I went,
wanna
yeah, it was
know.
all right. It was all right. So what have you been doing then? I said, I'll tell you what I've been fucking doing. I've been kissing her all day.
yeah, make
She
it.
went,
So,
"Who?" I went, yeah, Angelina. No.
What
Right?
did
She
she
went,
say?
oh, really, have you? You've been kissing Angelina Jolie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She went, well, somebody's got her.
did she?
Yeah, and looked at me like
How
that.
did she
you know.
with that smile? Yeah, I got it,
like you're going to get it. Like
You're
you
gonna get it. You ain't gonna get it. You ain't gonna get it for a long time.
You need a lot of flowers.
Yeah.
No, but she...
But
That's
she's
all
lovely.
part of it.
Yeah, she's a good girl.
You couldn't have done it,
Yeah.
I bet, without her, could you, Ray? Like someone to
Without
support.
Angelina?
No, without
without your
like, without the missus
Oh,
to
yeah.
support you.
Yeah,
You
of
need a
course,
good
yeah.
support. You can't have a go home and. I bet some wives are a bit like. Oh, you were.
Oh,
like,
some
I bet,
yeah.
But I mean, but you've.
I've seen
you've
people
got.
get chin on.
I bet, have you?
yeah,
Come on, spill
bars.
the beans. We had that in here a few times,
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, but we were
one
talking about the other day.
You
Don't
can't
say
tell
no
me.
We can't tell who
names,
it
don't
is,
say no
but
names.
someone's sitting here with this bird and thought, oh, he's coming
No,
with me, but
he's
that's not his
been coming
missus.
in with his missus for years.
Years,
this
and then
was
he's
their
coming
Caff.
with this little bird,
Oh, he's coming
and the
with
missus has gone,
We
seen his
don't- no,
motorbike.
but we
my
ain't-
sister.
The missus,
No.
nah, she's seen his motorbike outside.
Ah.
God, you
No, but they were sat right here.
yeah.
The little bird was sat there and he was sat
Oh,
here.
there's the blood still on the
Yeah,
table.
but she's come in and she's seen her and she's gone, her face has gone like red. She's
But
come
she's
up
gone.
and she's having a go at him and the other one's piped up. And
What, the
she-
birds piped up?
Yeah,
and
So
she's
she
just
wrong.
gone
She
to
should
her,
have said the word.
and you can shut up.
Crack.
Oh,
Oh,
brilliant.
well, right.
Good,
We started
brilliant.
calling
I wanted to do
her. We started calling
I
her
wanted
Rocky.
her to do her again, yeah. She's been called Rocky ever since.
Rocky ever since.
Yeah.
Right, we're gonna. I know you got to get home to the missus and that.
Yeah,
if
well,
you
she
could,
told me.
if you
You
could
asked
pick.
me I've been kissing.
I know you've been
Yeah,
kissing
yeah.
Anna. Yeah.
You know what Italian boys are like? Murder.
Horrible.
We,
have
we
to
always
take that
ask,
home to
what
Dan.
if you could pick anything, one home comfort to put on our menu for next time you come in? What would
I'm
it be?
surprised you ain't got it on there, and I ain't seen it on there.
Go on.
But I'm sure you've done it at some time. Nice rib of beef.
Oh,
You know, nice
you
rib
love
of- Nice rib of beef.
what with the old
Yorkshire pudding.
shebang, Yorkshire?
pudding.
Crispy
Carrots
roast
done in-
potatoes.
Carrots done in honey.
Oh, nice. Carrots and
Cauliflower
parsnips.
cheese. Cauliflower
Lovely,
cheese.
I love a bit of collie cheese.
Oh, mate, if I missed anything, shallots.
Oh, when
That's
they go
nice.
when they caramelise,
We'll have to do Ray them
Oi,
peas that
and
Mama
Mama
does.
makes
Bisogna
these. Mama makes these
accomodati.
Italian style
They work
peas, right?
beautiful.
Ah, right.
So
They are
peas
the
with like
cover.
little shallots and
Little bit of bacon in it and that.
tomato.
Oh, no,
They go down lovely with the beef,
They're
don't
the
they?
business.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
That's
do
what
that. I
we'll
think
have to
we'll
do
do
for
that
next
for
time.
Ray.
Rib of beef.
Ray, it has been an absolute.
Thank you, Ray.
It has been an absolute pleasure.
Pleasure's
An
mine.
Thank
absolute
you,
pleasure.
Ray.
I won't
So
tell you
much.
Lena kiss you.
No, thank you.
Oh,
Ray. Bring Elaine in.
I've got a couple of little bottles. Mum sent a couple of bottles of vino round for you. I know you can't drink it now, but
She
when you
sent
get
round
time.
expensive shit. She sent round
Yeah, don't worry
barrels
about
and
that.
stuff
No, not
like
that. Don't give him
Look
that.
at that.
That was see.
Look at that.
Where's the
Please give him that. Was your.
No,
You
that's
give
not-
her that for Christmas.
Barolo, you keep that one.
No, you keep that. That's
fine.
fine. Mum sent that round for you, and she's made you a little
Listen, thank
cannelloni.
you.
She's made you a
You
cannelloni.
got to put it in the oven.
Oh,
It's
shit,
like-
oh, shit, yeah,
even if
we'll
you have it in a
And
couple of
nice-
days, it's
Do you know
fresh.
what? Take
Cook
that
it in a
home.
couple of days,
And
mate.
his ragul, don't forget
And
to
he's
give
got
him.
his pesto.
Well, you
And your pesto.
We've got everything. Don't worry, Joe. You got the
Joe's
motor
gonna
in
go.
you.
You've got a car
Yeah,
in
we've got a
Joe.
bit.
Giuseppe's going to take it home.
Giuseppe.
Yeah, Mum was
Giuseppe.
like.
Hey everyone, if you enjoyed that little clip, then make sure that whatever platform you're watching it on, subscribe, follow us.
And make sure that you follow @DanTheCaff on Instagram and all your socials. Spread the love.
Tag us, spread the love.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yeah.
Beautiful, babe.